Peace, family. This is your boy Juro. It's halfway through your work week, and I hope you're well. I hope that the way you start your week will be the same energy that will carry you through it. So, I noticed that through media, you know, there was a lot of energy in regards to uh, the Bill Cosby verdict. And not that it had the focus on the verdict, but just the reaction. And it made me think. It made me ponder because I noticed that we as a society, not the fact that it is about right or wrong, because the same energy you put out is the same energy that is going to come back. That's why it's always meant to stay humble, stay vigilant, sidestep the negative, and always place them first. But it seems like now more than ever, there has been a underlining agenda to shape and change the mentality of the masses through emotional triggers. Kind of like if I could give you a verbal description of watching a wounded animal being stalked and then um, eventually taken down by its predator by strategic means. And I say that for a couple reasons. Because if that's the outcome, if that's the ultimate intent, then why have the process when you can actually speak your truth from the beginning? Why is it that we have gotten so conditioned to, instead of being forthright, speaking from within yourself by first acknowledging what is evident, what is the concern, we tend to take the long way around instead of the most direct route when it comes to our well-being. And I found it not surprising because there has been a question placed in my spirit for quite some time. And that question has always been, what is the difference between being brainwashed and being radicalized? We could easily say it's intentions. But what if you're not aware of the intent? What if what you are reacting to was set in play by manipulation through illustration? I'm not trying to sound windy, I'm just trying to put it out there because far too many times there are scenarios play out over and over and over again that has the footprint of fear. You know, fear. Finally, everything's a reality. And then when the reality is evident, we don't want to acknowledge it, but we tolerate it. Even at some points, we condone it. And the question should be asked, why? Why? You realize how much energy that is exuded when you choose not to be yourself. And this has nothing to do with gender position or financial statement or financial standing. I'm talking about the moral fabric that makes you you. And even if you can't relate to it from a spiritual standpoint, at the end of the day, the person that should matter most is the person that you see in the mirror every morning. That you make contact every time you're behind your steering wheel and you happen to glance up and see yourself looking back. But it seems that some have lost sight of that, and some choose to position themselves in false narratives and false environments, thinking that will give them comfort, only to set them far more apart than where they began. I asked a question some time ago when this whole platform was began in regards to the whole movement for when they started talking about workplace abuse, such as bullying, such as harassment. And I watched. And I noticed like anytime that there was a question that mattered or that would cause you to take a side, I found a lot of discomfort. People wanted to steer clear from it. No different. It's the same energy in regards to like the minority community when it comes to mental health. That's still to this day considered a taboo in the minority community to talk about mental health. I've been I've been trying to bang that gong for almost 6 years, and it's not about me. It's about awareness. We talk about the stuff that don't matter, but we don't put time in the things to do. And then when the outcome is presented and it's not of your choosing, we tend to either A, deflect it, or B, celebrate the victimization. And this is not because I know somebody's going to try to twist what I'm saying. And you're entitled to do that. Just go deeper. Because at the end of the day, you got to live your life as best as you see fit. Because nobody's giving borrowed time that you're going to wake up tomorrow. So why are you giving another moment, another day to be upset, to be unhappy, to not smile, to not speak your truth, to go within yourself, to constantly evolve or even reinvent who you are, starting with the state of your mind? It seems like some have chosen to settle and some have given up. As long as you've got air in your lungs, as long as you can hear the words that fall from my lips, you got an opportunity to be the best you. But there's a price for that. And guess what that price is? The reality that you're going to see some that may have gained access to your life that never had your best interest to begin with, but strategically they positioned themselves to go forth in your journey. Yeah, I'm not going to dispel that and say that that's comfortable when that reality hits, because nobody likes disappointment. Nobody. But guess what? At the end of the day, because some may misconstrue that as Well, you just sound selfish. No, I refuse. I told somebody the other day, I said, you know what? I think that natural progression is to be in a relationship, to ultimately become someone's husband, to be married. That is the ultimate covenant. But guess what? At what price? Is it at the price that you live your days being marginal or being the martyr? Because at the end of the day, you can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do. And that's real. But then you got to look at it from this perspective. Is your position in that to show empowerment by your actions? Or are you the example of enablement? Because every day should be a day of investment for yourself. Don't worry about what they doing. Don't worry about it. Because your friends, you know that sacred word friend? You gotta bear with me. Listening to the sounds of freedom fly by. See, a lot of people don't know what that word friendship means because it has various examples. But for me, friendship means the ultimate description, love. So why are you in an environment that has no love in it? If you're in an environment that is nothing but upheaval, drama, discourse, and downright pain, why are you there? Give yourself permission to answer that question for yourself. See, a lot of times people, you mill that in your mind, hoping the answer will be changed. But you know what you feel. You know it. And what is the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing expecting a different result. No, that's reality. But the choice still is opportunity because when you finally give yourself permission to identify what is present, the pattern, the nature, the behavior, you still got a choice. Are you empowering or are you enabling? You realize how many people are terrified to answer that question? You realize how many people are in relationships where love doesn't exist? They're there because of the material aspects that have been claimed. But the material aspects can never give you peace of mind because you can't take it with you. Who am I talking to? I had a conversation with someone dear, and we was like, in so many words, he said, them cigarettes gonna kill you one day. I said, but it won't kill you as quick as inner stress. But we don't talk about that. We deal with the suffrage. We don't take accountability in our mental makeup. It's like a badge of honor to be wounded. Why? Why? Why are we choosing that? And we wonder why the effects of that is spilled in your day to day. I'm not saying that to you directly. I'm just saying that rhetorically. Because look at it. There's so much condescending behavior and bad behavior that is being presented to be accepted in society, but we wonder why in the same breath we want to yell community. How you going to yell community when you're not unified with yourself? You are the community. It starts with you. You don't need any permission to better you. That's just like somebody constantly coming to you talking about, I got bills, I got bills, I got bills, but they don't have a game plan to correct it. I don't know what's worse, having the potential to make your life the best and choosing to do nothing, than not having the opportunity and choosing to remain still. And the sad thing about it is, for those who have a faith, never give that up no matter what is being presented. No matter what you're going through, just remember on the other side is your blessing, but you may just know it simply as your breakthrough. And that's what keeps people from progressing. That's also one of the reasons why people come and go out of your life, leaving you to figure it out on how did that happen? It was all good yesterday, but where are they now? Sometimes people come into your life just to validate the position you're in, to give you that extra notion that yes, you're doing right. But they're not there to hold your hand, but they will give you the support that you need because they don't want to impede your progression. And then unfortunately, there are those that hope that you won't figure it out and decide to become complacent and join the ranks as them. You know that. You know, it's called misery, that endless table of despair. I ain't got to tell you that, you already know it. So when's the last time you seen your smile? Can you answer that? Because you know you've got countless people that will tell you about the stuff that don't even matter, but won't even tell you the things that does. When's the last time that you were able to truly somber? You said somber? I mean sleep. Anybody can rest, but can you sleep? Because if you're laying in your bed and your mind is constantly running to no end in sight, and now that I mentioned that, let me throw this little caveat out there because some of y'all might not know this. Did you know the little blue backlight that's on your cell phone, your computer screen, or your electronics, even your alarm clock, if you still use an alarm clock, that blue light, it messes with your melatonin. So it pretty much prevents you from resting because your brain it acknowledges the presence of that light and it robs you of it. Serotonin is what I meant to say. So if you're having issues going to sleep or you find yourself constantly on that emotional leash called that cell phone because you're too busy worried about if you're going to miss something, it might be that little blue light in the back that's keeping you up. And I'm not saying that to sound disgruntled. I'm saying that because you got to remember your devices are nothing but exact. They're a tool, not a leash. I know somebody saying, he talking about me. Just look at your sleep pattern. Just look at it. So you guys must be wondering, yeah, I decided I'm going to go ahead and grow my dreads back. I'm going to give it a shot. And so I'm working on my patience because I don't like it, but I'm going to respect it. And I'm going to do what I need to do so that it is as it should be. So, you guys have a blessed week. Love to hear from you. Place God first in everything you do. Amen.